Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weatherboys podcast. We are excited for our guest today. He's just making a bunch of noise over there. You see that? And just knocked the microphone like that, just haphazardly. Yeah. For such an athletic guy, you'd think he'd be okay. Well, we'll get to him in just a second. How you doing, man?
It's April 1st today.
Yeah,
when we're recording this. Have you been fooled?
I have not.
I've been waiting all day. No, but nothing. I haven't seen a single thing yet.
My kids got me last year. Did I tell you the story?
No, please tell.
So it was very good. I'm actually very impressed by that. Yeah. So they get off the bus and they're like, "Dad, we need your help with this homework. It's due tomorrow." And I was like, okay, fine. And they're like, it's a word search. You just need to help us find the words. We're having a hard time with it. And I was like, Jesus, okay, sure. So I couldn't find any of the words. And they kept encouraging me like, "Dad, come on, and we need you to do it."
That's so good.
They hook, line, and sinker. Obviously, the prank was that there was no words in it.
That's so good.
It was a good.
And that was the teacher sent it home, right? Yeah. Totally. No, that's fantastic. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, my kid got me today too. She woke up right away. "Oh, Dad, I'm sick. I can't go to school." And she sold it.
Oh no!
And she's so I'm like, crap. Got a call. Word. Yeah. And she's like, "Just kidding." Like, oh wow, it's like you little lying scum.
And they don't realize how legitimately
so much went into that,
right? And for you, like, there's so much that goes through your head as a parent. You're like, "Oh my God, I gotta call work, and I'm gonna show up late, and I've got all these things. I gotta reschedule." And yeah, they just enough of truth in there to get you.
Yep. Oh, I talked to Matt too today, editor Matt, who's doing the old Weatherboys.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's gonna start editing. I think the old Extreme Team piece maybe next week.
Maybe
next week.
That's
guys
fantastic.
The Dunkers, yeah,
I'm very excited. Pistons are in the playoffs. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I think they need. They're in the little the tournament to get in the playoffs for sure. I think they need one or two more wins officially to be in it, but they'll be in it. They're going to be in it.
Yeah. Well, they need to be in it because that's really kind of the diving board of our story.
Right. It is. They'll be in it.
Are you feeling good after that? My knee is still not feeling 100%.
My wrist, I was just saying, my wrist is actually still. I got a bum wrist now. Yeah. From that. Yep.
That story took a lot out of us.
I
sure hope that people appreciate the sacrifice.
I'm excited to see it. I mean, this one's a little different. I'm a little nervous, a little excited. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be great. I'll have to check in with Matt because this, out of all the stories we've done, and there's been a lot where I've looked like an idiot, but this one has the potential for me to look like a real idiot.
But a real idiot who succeeds in the end.
It took me all day.
You succeeded, and I shouldn't say that. Did he succeed? Who knows?
It took me hours to succeed, whereas Alan, it took 5 minutes.
You made some progress.
It's so frustrating, everybody, listeners out there. It's so frustrating doing stories with this guy because he's so athletic that we try something one time and he's got it down, and it takes me hours to figure out how to master these things.
Well, I will say thank you, but that's not true with everything. No, it's like half of them. Half of them I do better at. The other half you do better at.
There was one that you were not as good at, and it's not a bad lead-in to our guest today.
Oh, this is one of them. Well, this is exactly it. Yeah, this guy is coming to us because we got a home opener coming our way.
Yes.
So we've got a baseball extraordinaire, thumbs up, thumbs down, major leaguer.
Drafted,
yeah.
Drafted into the major leagues.
Yeah. So Anthony Tomey, former pitcher, who now runs one of the most successful Jimmy John's franchise groups in the country.
Yes.
See, that's the guy.
Don't ask him
Detroit
questions
guy.
yet. He's not punched up on the video.
We're not smartless. We're smartless, kind of. He's a Detroit guy through and through. His story is all about grit, hustle, and knowing when to pivot from striking out batters to building an empire. Anthony Tomey, everybody. Hey, buddy, how are you? Born in Detroit, 8 Mile vodka. Yeah. What else, man? It's hard to keep track of all of it.
The list keeps growing of everything that you are involved in this city.
And can we say the other thing, or can we not say the other thing? Well, I know there are many other things, but one of my favorite things.
Sure.
The 3-on-3?
Yes. We just announced, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. No
we just announced last week our name. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, we're the Amplifiers, the Amps.
Oh, no. I like it.
Yeah, so I love it. Kind of a Detroit theme. With the music and all that stuff. We went through 1,000 names, right? We went through some of the, the 3-on-3 is obviously not the NBA, right? It's kind of like a minor league feel to it. And so we tried to do all these crazy names, whatever, right?
Like the Savannah Bananas, right?
Yeah,
you got that baseball team down south.
Insane different names, right? I love the Gym Rat, some of these other different things that you can make a cool logo out of.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, the rat, yeah.
But we end up going with the amplifiers, which we go by the Amps. right?
Do you know what I love about that? And if you need me to get you in touch with these guys, I'm happy to, because one of my good friends is high up in it. But the Amps, Detroit is a very trade-centric city, with plumbers, bricklayers, electricians, the Amps, electricity, the Motor City Electric. Every electrician in the city should be at those games.
I mean, hopefully everyone comes to these games.
Yeah. I love that.
That's fantastic.
So kind of a cool name, and we have some really cool jerseys. We're going to be promoting all that stuff very soon with all the different stuff we're doing and what's going to look like. They look really cool.
Can we start right there?
Yes,
I know we wanted to start with baseball, but we're already here.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that you're involved with. Born in Detroit. Everybody in the city has seen Born in Detroit at this point.
Correct.
You're involved with a lot of design. Was that something you wanted to get involved with, or did you just fall into it?
No, I have zero creativity when it comes to that.
Doubtful.
I have an awesome team with us, and they pump it out for us. I mean, I have some ideas here and there, but I really love our original stacked logo and all that. But the teams, our vendors are just amazing. These guys are so talented and so skilled, and they just come up with different things, and I say yes or no.
Man, some of your apparel says "Born in Detroit." Some of it just has the I-N, and I've been shocked at how many times people have stopped me. I have a blue sweatshirt that has just the "in."
Yep.
It's barely noticeable.
Yeah.
Folks stop me often.
Well, we're actually going to have announcing probably tomorrow.
Oh, we're breaking news.
Yeah, we are.
We are breaking it right now. Break it right now for you guys. We're signing a deal with New Era. We did it for the Super Bowl as a kind of like a little test run. We did Born in Philly, Born in Kansas City with the logo, and they sold really well. All they did literally was put them on the website, and they sold.
I'm sure, of course they did.
And we're like, well, what did they sell? They wouldn't tell us. Like, we're going to go ahead with you guys on this. We're like, okay, cool. We later found out how much it was, and it was nice, right? So we are, New Era is like the leading hat in the whole world, right? And they also bought 47 brand, which is one of the leading apparel brands, right? So we're going nationwide. Born in collection, every MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA, and every Division I college, they have the license to. So we're going to have Born in Philly, Born in Baltimore with the Ravens, with the Orioles, so every major league team's coming out this week.
So that's 32 cities right there.
That's 32 cities right there.
Okay, and there's a lot of overlap, obviously,
especially with hockey. Hockey is the big one. You get the Calgary, Edmontons, like some of these different ones that we wouldn't have in other three sports.
But wait, the Division I colleges. So you're talking like Born in Ann Arbor. Born in East Lansing.
Born in Austin, born in Tuscaloosa. Like we're figuring that out as we go. They have all the licenses. We want to see which ones we want to go with, right? But it's gonna be the major ones for sure. So this is pretty huge deal.
Sure.
It's all a licensing deal with New Era, which again is an amazing company to work with, and just to be affiliated with them is great. This could be big. I mean, this is a Born in collection.
It's big. It's already big. It's already like every time I see you, you have another little tidbit to drop.
Yeah, this started off as nothing. This literally, we bought the 8 Mile vodka, right? That's how this whole story got. We bought the vodka. We were doing a fundraiser for our church. My brother and I, we met.
What year is this?
2019.
Okay, is this the start? Oh, we're going back to the beginning here?
Yeah, well, this is kind of the start of at least Born in Detroit and 8 Mile. So 2019, we go in. We're meeting my buddy George, who's our partner now. He's a travel agent, and he's like, "Hey, listen, can we give us a trip for like the grand prize?" He's like, "Cool, I'll give you a trip to Greece." That's what he does. He's Greek. He gets a good deal on that.
That's pretty awesome.
A great thing for us. And then he brought a buddy of his that had some autographs like Calvin Johnson, some Red Wings and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I got this vodka bottle. You guys want to buy this vodka company?" And we're like, "Sure." We tasted it. It was garbage, right? It wasn't good at all. But for a couple weeks, we're like, "Man, I really want this vodka company. Let's find something." So we went to a buddy of ours. He found us a great one, beautiful bottle. We tasted it. Like, this is delicious. It's actually really good vodka. We're like, "How much?" He's like, "This much." And it was free. Like, it was nothing. I would buy, if you told me any company was this amount of money, I would buy it, right?
No matter what.
Whatever
You would just roll the dice on it.
Anything happens,
sure.
right? So we're talking, we're drinking, we're like, "Hey, we're doing the deal with these guys, the ownership group, who spend a lot of money getting all this taken care of," right? Like a ridiculous amount of money. And they're smart guys, 2 brothers as well. Very smart, very successful people. And we're like, "Hey, what's this Born in Detroit?" They're like, "Oh, we trademarked that. We have that." I go, "Well, what do you want for that?" It's like, it's kind of like whatever. We're like, "We'll give you this much." He's like, "Okay." And was very cheap. And we kind of had this thought, maybe we'll do something with this, maybe we won't, but at least we'll have it, right? And then COVID hits, right? This is September, COVID hits. We can't get 8 Mile into any bar. No bars are open. No one's taking inventory in. So we're like, okay, let's see what we can do with Born in Detroit. Started making some T-shirts. Everyone kind of loved the idea. It sounded kind of cool. But 8 Mile was our thing, right? We're going to push this vodka. Not knowing, we don't know the industry one bit. Very tough industry to get involved in, right? And then Born in Detroit was born. We started doing okay. We got to high schools and colleges and started doing some stuff, made a couple bucks here and there. And then when the draft was coming, we're like, we got to do something cool. So we have a relationship with Bedrock. We have it with Jimmy John's with them and all that. And we said, hey, what are we going to do with this? We like the spa somewhere. We're like, okay, $100,000 for the week. We're like, what are you talking about?
Well, you're talking
a
storefront? A storefront.
We're going to do a pop-up storefront, and we're like, $100,000 for the week. We're like, you're out of your mind, lady. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, come back to me when no one else takes that spot. So they comes back to me. We're like, we got it for $50,000. Great deal. I go, I'm not going to do that. 2 weeks later, she's like, $20,000. I'm like, I'll meet you downtown. So I go down there, see the spot, want to make sure it's all good, get it down significantly more. And we knock it out. And then Gardner White calls us. We're like, well, we love what you guys are doing. We love to make the spot, furnish it. We're like, awesome. We didn't have enough clothes to do the whole store. We said half the store is that. Half the store will be a event space, right?
Yeah.
Do autograph sessions. We figured we can do, podcasts. We can do event space. People rent it out. Worked out amazing. We're like, okay, cool. We made it. We killed the draft. Killed it. Like, I couldn't believe what we did.
We hung out with you guys.
Yeah. It was great.
I think that's why
the whole Weatherboys
I think that's
thing.
why you killed it. Yeah, because of
it was you guys.
Threw a sub at us, which we can get into that later. But
Yeah, I mean, so we did well. We're like, okay, we'll stay for a couple more months. We're like, what's the rent? They're like, this much. I'm like, no way. We're like, we'll get it down to this. And I love to say it because it's kind of hilarious, but it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, my contract is coming up here in a few months. Do you want to negotiate on my behalf?
I got
It
you.
sounds like you're pretty good at it.
I'm very tough because I don't need anything. So I don't need this. I'll do it for this much money and we'll keep it here.
That's the key, right?
That was the key.
With any negotiation, that's the key. If you go in and they can smell desperation, you're toast.
Done.
Yep.
Right? Like, I don't need any more Jimmy John's, but I'll take them for this much money.
Right.
So we end up signing a 1.5-year deal. So the end of 2025, and I think we're going to extend it and keep going. Like, things are going very, very well for us with it. And it's an unbelievable spot. It's
a great
right
spot.
In the corner of Woodward and Grand River. You can't really beat that spot.
You got that little pastry shop on the other side. I forget.
It's amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
The brand itself. So what do you think really made it take off? Because it does feel like you struck lightning in a bottle when it came to like pride in the city.
Yep.
Because it was just starting to come back.
Correct.
And now you've got. I mean, your brand is amazing. Born in Detroit's my favorite. But
Thank
you've got these. You got the like Everybody versus Detroit or things like that. So you've got these other brands. Is that what it came down to? Is just the pride swelled and you guys hit at the right time?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a lot of different things. People started coming back to the city. All of a sudden, the Lions are good. The Tigers come out. They're not very good. Then all of a sudden, they have a great summer. All of a sudden, they're in the playoffs, right? We're in the playoffs. We're doing 6,000-7,000 a day every home game, right? Lions. Every time the Lions played at night, the Sunday night football and Monday night football, we would do $7,000-8,000 at the store that day. And we're like, what's going on? This is craziness, right? And we didn't think the store was, I guess I didn't have enough confidence in my own stuff, I guess, right? Like
I remember talking to you in the beginning. I think you said to me, like, it's just a cool place that I can come crash.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to hang out with.
You know?
I thought it'd be cool, like, whatever. And then I negotiated the price enough where if we didn't make money, we'll live, right? We'll be fine. So it just started doing amazing. I mean, I really couldn't believe the sales we were doing.
Well, the other thing too is all of your stuff is so good quality-wise.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing.
There's no cheap product there. You're not going to get a shirt, wash it one time. It's going to shrink 3 sizes. You'll never wear it again.
Exactly.
Like this shirt, we have a Born in Detroit Weatherboys shirt.
Yeah.
Which is just as crisp and clean now as it was when we got it a year ago.
Correct. Like I'm a large guy, right? I'm 6'3", 275 pounds, pure cock diesel muzzle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I need things that fit me properly, right? I have big shoulders, decent arms, and I'm not as fat as I'm not like a fat mess. I'm not lean, but I need something that fits me and comes in. I don't like boxy stuff. I don't want that freebie T-shirt to make it extra $2, right? I want quality everything. I want to look nice. I want to feel nice, and we actually go and try on all of the clothes before we do this. We always do. because I don't like bad clothing.
Right.
I have to fit in a certain way for me.
Yeah.
And not that anyone is my size, 0 people are, but I just like nice stuff. And as do my partners. We want quality over quantity.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't want that tri-poly blend.
Yeah.
You want the good stuff.
I love a good tri-poly blend.
Oh, yeah. You need. I mean, you get, look. We get a lot of T-shirts, given to us in our job. Like people come in, and they're like, the good T-shirts from the bad T-shirts, and those bad ones are going to the trash.
And what that does for you guys as a business is somebody buys one shirt. I'll give Born in Detroit a shot, and it fits them, looks good, feels good. They'll go buy another one.
Correct.
And then
that's what you got to do. You got to want people. You want people to wear it multiple times. You're not here to just give it away. Just as even if we give it away. I won't do a garbage. I won't do the freebie shirt, the $3, $4. I can't do it. It's just not in me. I don't want anyone to be like, man, I hate this. This is a garbage T-shirt. I'm chucking the garbage, right? It's just, I don't want that.
Go ahead. You want to get something?
Well, I was kind of bringing it back to that. I don't need this. Where are you going?
I want to take it back to the beginning.
Well, let's go to the I need this. I don't need this first, because you have the I don't need this mentality. So with negotiations, right? You see, but like you weren't all. I mean, you couldn't have always had that. There was a time when you had the one Jimmy John's, or maybe even before that.
Correct.
Like, how did you cultivate this mindset, that ability?
We know the Jimmy John's. We should tell the audience about Jimmy John's.
How many do you own? 8 million right now?
Close. So basically, I was drafted out of high school by the Cleveland Indians, right? I had a full ride to school, to Eastern Michigan. And my dad's super, so my parents are legit boaters, right? From Lebanon, right? My dad's 5'6", 150 pounds. My mom's 5 foot tall. Both have a combined negative athletic ability.
I almost asked what kind of boat.
How this, it's a small one, how this came about, I have no idea. I have no idea how I became as large or athletic as I am.
I mean, grandpa or grandma must have been big or somewhere down that line.
My dad's mother came to visit me when we were my senior year of high school, and she's 4'8" and legit permanently pregnant.
You just got lucky.
I swear. My dad's a first of 18.
Wow.
So, yeah. Not a lot of TV watching in Lebanon back in the day, probably. But yeah, it's just, it was just freak. But I worked really hard. And that was always my whole entire thing. Everything I've ever done has been earned. It really has. I was always the biggest guy, right? It sounds like that's a great thing, but in baseball, it's not really. You don't have to be a huge guy, like physically, right? You're tall, you're lanky, you got a big arm, you got to be fast. And I always had to work so much harder than everybody else because I weighed more than everybody. I played at like 260, 270 pounds.
What years were you at Eastern?
Eastern, I was there, I graduated high school in 99, so 2000 to 2003 was at Eastern.
Okay. I know somebody that you might have played with on the Eastern team.
Who's that?
He's a pitcher. You're a pitcher.
I was.
Matt Onderlindy?
Oh, yeah, I know Onderlindy. K-Zoo, baby.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He played with me for at least, I think, 2 years.
Yeah. So lefty. He threw like 88, right? That's what he told me.
Yeah, he did.
I got to tell you the story about Onderlindy then. So Matt Onderlindy, he played for Eastern, transferred from Eastern to Michigan to study meteorology. This guy, he's a great meteorologist. He's way better than both of us.
What's he do?
Very smart. He was always very smart. You could tell
smart.
He was very good at baseball, but he wasn't like all in on baseball, right? He was just a lefty and he threw harder than most kids, but like you could tell he wasn't like diehard baseball.
I love that you know him. This is so great.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else. I'm going to send this to him and his wife, who I still talk to occasionally. So his wife is a hurricane hunter.
Oh,
so they met. They met in Michigan. I one time butt dialed his wife. I was doing.
Oh no!
I was doing yard work. I butt dialed his wife, and I hear this voice go, "Hello, hello," and I'm like, "Oh crap!" And I pull out my phone. I'm like, "Oh, Lisa, hey." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I butt dialed you." And she's like, "Well, do you need anything?" And I was like, No. What are you up to? She's like, "I'm in a hurricane."
No way.
And I was like, "Oh God, I'm so, no. You don't have to answer my phone call."
The phone?
I know she picked up the phone.
I mean, you couldn't pay me to go watch a hurricane. I would be scared, or tornado watchers. Like, I would be too scared to do any of that.
So I actually don't know what Matt is doing professionally right now. I know after college, he was the best forecaster in our class.
Sure.
After college, he started developing his own weather website, and he started coding his own model. But that aside, he was always an athletic guy, quiet but confident, right? Is that how you remember?
Correct, 100%.
Okay. So Matt tells me one day, he goes, I can make 60 3-pointers out of 100. I can make 63.
I was just going to say, I know he could hoop.
And I was like, there's no way you can make 60 out of 100 threes. I was like, 60% 3-point percentage. I was like, NBA players are happy with like 38.
Yeah.
There's no way you're making 60.
Uncontested in the gym.
That was his argument. He was like, uncontested, I can make 60. I was like, you got to bet. I'll take that bet. So
What were the stakes?
the
This is college. $20 goes a long way.
stakes
case of
were
beer.
the loser
right.
had to write an email to the whole department explaining that he was right or wrong.
Okay.
And
Okay.
mass send it out.
Sure.
So
I've seen better steaks.
we go. We were broke. We had nothing. We had
They were
nothing.
in the engineering
Yeah,
department.
I know.
That
Lame
Michigan.
meteorologist. So we go to the gym. We go to the U of M gym, and we broke it up into 250 chunks. So he shoots 50, gets a break, shoots the next 50. His first 50 made 28. And I was like,
That's pretty
"You're
close.
screwed." No, I was like, there's no way he's going to do this now. He's going to get tired. I'm set.
Wait, he was 2 off a pace, and you were so confident. 2 off.
So confident.
This
but
is-
that's
listen
the
to this
first
confidence.
the first half of 100. I mean, listen, you got to make 32 more.
Yeah.
And I'll bet he did,
He
didn't
takes a break.
Anderle did it.
He drinks some
Yeah, he
water.
did.
He makes 40 of the
Anderle.
next 50
Anderle.
for
I
a
love this
total
guy.
of 68
Yes.
out of
No
100.
way.
I have never been more shocked at a bet that I made.
I would love.
crazy.
How angry did you? I would love to watch Derek just get angrier and angrier
I
with every
was
shot
not
made.
angry. I was very impressed with this guy.
Sure.
But he was like, yeah. So when I knew you pitched for Eastern and I knew he pitched for Eastern, I thought you'd enjoy that
Oh,
story
yeah,
about
yeah,
Anderle.
definitely. Man, we played 2 years together, I think. Yeah, 2 years.
I had to send the email,
Oh, of
and I
course.
received probably a dozen responses from graduate students that were like, "This is stupid. Don't email me this."
That's
Which was,
it
yeah.
cost you a job later in life, but whatever.
So Eastern Michigan. So you're pitching to Eastern.
Yep.
You're drafted.
I'm drafted.
Yeah.
And then my sister, so my dad's like, okay, let's do something. Right? And in typical boater fashion, he's like, hey, let's go get a gas station. And I was like, I don't want anything 24 hours, nor do I want to be that guy, right? And he's like, how about Subway? And I'm like, no, Subway sucks. And I'm like,
Wait,
listen,
pause.
yes,
Is this is while you're drafted?
No, right when I got drafted.
This is like with your
Oh,
money, with
yes,
like your first
yes.
earnings that you get.
Yes.
He wants you to
Understood.
But he's
okay.
got my dad, he had a couple bucks, right?
Sure.
And my dad was actually getting kind of forced out of his job. He was the CFO and the two owners, one of the sons was coming in, whole thing, he was getting a little worried. They end up, telling him to move, they demote him. This kid loses a ton of money in the first 6 months. They beg for him to come back, signs a 10-year deal, no matter what, if he leaves or what. So it was a great deal. Ended up being good, but he was worried.
Yeah, sure.
Right? For a minute. Because my sister was just going to Michigan State. She was just walking in the door. My brother was still 14 years old, right? So, he's got some stuff going on, right? So I'm like, listen, Jimmy John's is great. I had it at school. And then we were actually taking my sister up to Michigan State. So we tried Jimmy John. Well, my dad did. He's like, not bad. And he doesn't eat sandwiches, right? So he's like, this is very good, very good. I like it. So we go and talk to Jimmy, and we're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're like, all right, here you go, man. So we opened Novi 2003. No one knew what Jimmy John's was.
No.
Right? No one.
It was a college thing.
It was a college, only in Michigan State people knew it. No one had ever heard of delivering sandwiches. At that point, remember, it was literally just pizza, and it was only like Domino's, Pizza Hut,
And
maybe Hungry Howie's.
This was before the Freaky Fast situation.
And
Yeah.
Jimmy John's was cheap.
It was $4.
It was like, yeah, I was gonna say it was like $3.50 for a sub.
It was like between $4 to $6 maximum for a sandwich, right? So no one had heard of that. So I finished playing the season at the end of September, the minor leagues, right? I come home right to the store, start making sandwiches. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, hey, I'm just going to go give this stuff away for free to all these different businesses. There's tons of businesses in Novi, right? Right around us. So we started cutting them up into small pieces, giving them out to everybody, wrapping them. And we went from $6,000, $7,000 a week for the first couple months to doubling to tripling within the year. So with this $20,000 a year, a week for the rest of the year.
And this is while you were in your early stages of your major league
Correct,
career. And
correct.
playing minor
Minor
league,
league,
but
so-
signed by a team. Most
Yeah.
guys are like
Locked in.
locked in,
Locked in.
making their one chance count.
Yeah. So obviously I'm a local guy, right? So the trainer, Denny Taft, local guy, and one pitcher stayed in the office, Nate Robertson, lefty pitcher with the Tigers. So us three would work out every morning. I got to be there at 6 a.m. in Canton every single day. We'd go work out. And I also finished my degree. I wanted to make sure I finished. I had one semester left. So I was going there.
What was that in?
Just marketing management.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing. But
That sounds important.
It was. I mean, it's worked out for me, right? And I was known as the blue pants guy. I wore my Catholic Central warm-up basketball pants, the tearaways back in the day.
Love
They used
those.
tearaways
Miss
every
Tearaways.
single day.
Kim, born in Detroit, can you guys bring tearaways back,
Yeah,
please?
I got a pair actually.
Okay, good.
They're really nice. And this is kind of a funny story. So I'm doing all that, right? I'm working out in the morning, working during the day, going to school, and then coming back and closing every night. We did, we didn't trust anybody to do anything, right? So we're in class, and I'm literally sleeping every day in class. I just wanted to finish a degree, right?
Sure.
And everybody knew who I was because I was 3 weeks late for class, right? And I knew everybody anyways at school, but Eastern's kind of a commuter school as it was.
Sure.
So they're like, hey, Anthony just got signed with the Tigers. Welcome into the class. Put him in a group. And 0 people wanted me on their team, right?
Yeah, they're like, that's the guy that sleeps all day.
This guy's a jock.
He's got
he just
the blue
signed with the
pants.
Tigers.
Like,
He doesn't care about anything.
He's still wearing snap-away pants.
So they put me
He
in
smells like sandwiches.
Right,
like,
exactly,
what in the world?
Exactly. They put me in a group with some people, and they're like, listen, we're good. We'll do all the work. We'll put your name on it. I'm like, well, I'll do something. We'll bring some food. So I'll bring some
That's the
pizza.
ultimate American jock story.
Right? I'll bring some pizza. So we end up getting a D on this first project. And I'm like, guys.
No fault of yours.
I know you think I'm some kind of dummy, but let me take care of this. Like, no, this is our last grade. We got to do this. I said, I got this. And they're like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to implement Jimmy John's into Target. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just let me do this. So I do this whole thing by myself. Literally, I wanted 0 help from these people. These people were random kids. Like, they didn't know who I was. Mm-hmm. They weren't like living on campus with us, right?
So some trust issues here. We'll talk about that later, yeah.
So we get there. We do this whole presentation. I come in a suit. I had hair then, so I comb my hair. I wore a hat every single day of my life, right? That's why I'm probably bald. But we walk in, and no one knows who I am. They're like, who's this dude? And I didn't tell anybody I own Jimmy John's, right? I hadn't even told them yet. So I do this whole thing. I implement that into Target. We get an A- on the project. I bring food for everybody. I brought those large party trays, hand them out to everybody. Awesome. Killed it. And the moral of the whole thing was these people just thought I was so stupid. I just didn't care, which I really didn't, but I wanted to. It was important to me to finish, right? Important to my family, to my dad, that I finished college, right? And I was there anyways, so might as well knock it out and get it done. So we did that, and that just kind of springboarded everything into, man, I really can go and I can sell anything to anybody. I really can. And that's really what I've done is I bring my employees trust me so much. I have 800 plus employees, and my number 1 guy is 19 years. My number 2 guy is 17 years. My top 10 people are 10 years plus. In this industry, that doesn't happen, right? Like this turnover just goes like this. And people, whatever I tell people, I will make sure, I will never tell you something I can't come through with. I make sure of that. Like if I tell you something, it's gold. It's happening.
Being underestimated seems like a big motivator for you.
It is. Always has been. Like I said, I was talking about earlier about always being the biggest guy. Like I was 275 pounds our running test was 1.5 miles, right, for pitchers. And I would be I finished first every single time. At 275 pounds, I'd run a sub 9 minute and 30 second 1.5 miles, which is chucking it for a big dude, right? For anybody.
Yeah.
But I had to always prove that I was in shape, right? Because just by the looks, I'm just a big dude. Everyone else is tall, skinny, and lanky, and I just always had to prove myself all the way through.
Well, now, but at this point in your career, you've, by many people's standards, have made it.
Correct.
And yet, you're coming in here with you have a new, which we still got to talk about the basketball league that you bought into. You have a new era deal. So you're still pushing yourself forward when you don't have to. What motivates you now? Is it still that?
It's the game.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do? Right. My dad always taught us, right? Once you're here, everyone's going to come get you. If you don't keep increasing yourself and getting better and learning, then they're going to surpass you. And I don't want that to ever happen. And I want that for my kids and for my family to be like, this guy worked so hard at everything he did and was successful. Not everything. We've failed. We've made mistakes. We've done things. But I will never let anybody outwork me. I just can't. I won't do it.
But how does risk not scare you? Because you admitted that you get to a certain point and then it allows you to get into other ventures because you have that money.
Correct.
But don't you ever get scared about losing all of it and ending back at the bottom again?
No, I can't. You can't. If you do, then that's not how I live my life. Not that I'm some wild goose out there just chucking money around, but Jimmy John's is a vehicle. It's knock on wood. It's not, nothing is guaranteed in life, but it's guaranteed. This thing is going to keep going. It's going to keep making money. So we have the opportunity to take a little bit of risk, right? In the beginning, we didn't. My dad, again, super conservative guy. We used to take nothing, enough to live, right? And we would pay these stores off. When we built 24 stores at $400,000 a piece, when the bank, when we went to go buy the 27 stores we bought in 2019, we only had $800,000 in debt. So when we bought a new store, you give me $100,000, you give me $100,000, you give me $100,000, we're buying the store. We're going to build it. We didn't use banks. was old school boater mentality, right? And now we've learned, which is great. We learned that way. And now I've learned to use other people's money, right? Now the banks die for us. They're begging for me to use their money.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? And now I don't have to put any money down. Now I don't have to be like, okay, well, we need this much money to get this free. Do this, no prepayment penalties, no personal guarantees. It's, boom, here you go.
Well, we got to pay it back if it doesn't work. I mean,
but like, you don't have to put money down.
I see.
So that's where people can't make that. You can't make that deal, right? If you need $2 million and you got to put down $400,000, not everybody has that available to them, right? I don't have to do that anymore. I don't ever put money down. If I need money put money down, it's not happening.
It's the idea that gamblers have, or poker players. You hear poker players talk about it. Like you don't count your chips when you're here. Like these are just they're just tools. For getting more.
Correct.
And that's why I was always a bad poker player, because I would look down and say, well, I have $35. I don't want to lose $35.
Right.
Well, and they're like,
I'm going to lose another bet to Anderley. I'm going to owe them that money.
I know. We have to send another email.
You see, and then I'm nowhere near this level, but you see all these guys, right, that have all this money. Why do they keep having more money? Because they have the ability to get more money.
Yeah, it's a skill.
It's a skill. You have to you have to get there, right? But once you're there, then the money just comes to you because you're able to go buy X, Y, and Z, and people can't wait. You have so much credit and so much credibility to what you do, they can't wait to let you blend it for X amount of percentage, and it's whatever. You just pay it back.
At what point did this brain like? Was your dad for the first Jimmy John's? Was like how much of a push from your dad was it versus what you wanted?
Oh, it was
not necessarily
100%.
Jimmy John's, but like the
I had nothing.
entrepreneurship.
I didn't even have a credit card in my name. I didn't have a car in my name. I had literally nothing. I was a fake person. I just was a real body. That's it.
Yeah, sure.
So I couldn't do anything without my dad. None of us could, right?
Absolutely.
But now he always wanted us to do that. He worked a 9-to-5 job, and he was like he was married to it, right? He had to do it to get it. So we were never wealthy people growing up. We went to Catholic school our whole life. We did nice things, but my dad didn't make crazy money at all. He made nice money, right? And we had what we needed. We didn't have like extra stuff or awesome things. We didn't have Jordans. We weren't, we're just
there's no jet skis sitting in the garage.
Right. And to this day, my dad is a multimillionaire, and we just went on vacation, just like me, him, and my son this past weekend.
You got a good deal to Greece?
Yeah. Right. We went to Tampa for the weekend. This dude brought 4 T-shirts, and one of them was a Michigan State dad T-shirt with a small hole in the side, a 1994-95 Our Lady of Sorrows back-to-back COIO championship T-shirt with my name on the back of it. And he just doesn't, it's just how he is. He's just an old school guy, just happy to be in America, American dream kind of guy. And you learn from that, right? Like, I'm not a flashy dude. I'm not like, it's just not how we are.
It shapes you. You look at it. I mean, I look at that. My dad does stuff like that too. I mean, we go to spring training every year. It's one of our great father-son trips. And he wears the same coat that he has worn for the last 17 years we've gone to spring training. It is ripped right. He can't even put anything in the pocket. I'm like, Dad.
It's a trick pocket, man.
Yeah, why did I get rid of the coat? Oh, the coat still works. And it's a tradition. I wear it every year.
Sure.
And I kind of, I laugh. But I notice I do the same thing with certain items.
Oh, yeah, Derek's as cheap as it gets.
Right.
And this is from one to another, but yeah.
Right. But it is. We pluck these little things from the people that help shape us.
Sure.
And we improve on the things that we want to improve on. And then that's how we live our lives.
That's it. It's just the way it is. And I give all credit to my parents. I mean, they really taught us how to do things a certain way. And it's hard to deviate from that, right? You just learn. And he always taught me that. This is one thing he always told me. And I was like, what are you talking about when I was a kid? You are who your friends are. If your friends are athletes, you're going to be an athlete. If your friends are gamers, you're going to be a gamer. If your friends are druggies, you're going to be a druggie. And surround yourself with great people. If you don't and I tell people all the time, whenever I do podcasts or interviews, like, I am no genius by any means. I'm actually not that smart of a guy at all. I promise you.
You could argue that.
But I know who to surround. I am very well connected. I know a lot of people, and people, I think, seem to like me. And I surround myself with people that are better than me at many other things. I am awful with technology. I surround myself with people that are good with technology. I am great with people. Right? I'm not very creative. I don't have that artistic eye or hand or anything. So you surround yourself with people that are better than you at things that you are not good at. And I think I do a good job with that. And that's really where I've kind of excelled. And I've learned to back off a little bit, right? Like, you want to be in control and help and work all that. You don't have to. You have to be able to trust people and give them the chance to show you that what they can do.
Are you still working from 7 a.m. till close?
I'm not working in the stores as much.
No. But more metaphorically, like you're still working all day long. You haven't
all day long. My phone, 24 hours a day on my phone. I'm up at 5 a.m. every day at the gym.
Same.
And I go all day from there, and then I go all day long, and then I try to come home and just shut it down, do whatever with the kids, and I'm coaching everything. And
there's some altruism in there. Where were you this morning?
I was doing a speaking engagement for my high school. With about the whole sophomore class was up there, and
a paid engagement.
It was not paid. I did not receive any money. I did get a T-shirt out of it. Another T-shirt, which is always good.
That'll last 30
Swag,
years.
Always.
Yeah. And he told me this morning. He told me the thing I was most impressed with. I'm impressed with you on a lot of levels, but I was like, oh, high school kids. Like, it's tough to get a high school kid's attention. You know what I mean? We do school talks and stuff, and it's tough. And you had them fully engaged. I guess you talk money, man. They're locked in.
You tell them I tell them my story, right? Who doesn't like you're talking to a bunch of all boys high school, right? Detroit Catholic Central. Talk about playing professional sports. Talk about Jimmy John's. Talk about vodka. And a cool brand that they're all wearing. They were literally half the kids were wearing Born in Detroit.
Yeah, they're
shirts,
in.
Right?
They're in.
They were in, and then I tell them, this is how you become a millionaire. Right now.
Yeah.
And I tell them this is you need to do a life insurance policy. You need to do a IRA. You start it right now. You put in the minimum amounts. You guys could be millionaires in the next 15, 20 years. They're like, what are you talking about? I go, this is how you do it. And I tell them, like, this is how I did it for my kids. My kids were born within 3 weeks of my kids being born. They had a life insurance policy. I pay $100 a year. By the time they're 20, they'll never know about it, but they'll be millionaires.
Whole life policies,
only whole life.
There you go. Al, we got to talk more about that.
I know, yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things, like, they don't understand, they don't see, they just, even when I was a kid, I just thought everybody that made that money spent that money.
For
right?
sure,
That's how that's the only way to do this, right? Like, I go to spring training and everybody had the best cars I've ever seen, right? Back in the day, Hummers, right? And, Yukons. Sure. I'm like, why would you pay $120,000? You signed, I know some of these guys I play with, you signed for $150,000. How'd you do that? I didn't know that you don't just pay the whole entire car. I didn't.
Right.
I never bought a car in my life, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had payment plans. And so, like, these kids don't know that. They don't teach you these things in school, right? They just don't. I wish they did. And now Catholic Central is doing that. They have a new finance center we just built, and it's beautiful. And they're showing these guys how to do these things and how to make yourself useful in life, not just go to college just to say you got a piece of paper.
Right.
So it was awesome. It was a cool little talk. Bunch of questions. A bunch of kids came up to me after. Can I call you? Can I email you?
Can I have some money?
No one asked for money. I'm telling you, these kids there's better cars in that parking lot than I could ever drive. I swear.
That new Catholic Central campus is pretty nice, huh?
It's unbelievable, man. You should see what we're building there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not too far from me because I'm right near that Wixom Road and Grand River.
Wixom,
yep. Okay. I have wanted to ask you this for a long time. You're at Eastern. You want to get drafted. I want to play professional baseball, and I know there's a lot in the middle there, but you want to get drafted.
Yeah.
You get drafted by the worst team in the history of baseball.
Correct.
How does that feel?
Well, A, it was my home team, so I wasn't that mad. But B, in my head, I'm like, okay, now it's going to be easier for me to get up there because they suck.
Yeah,
sure.
It was the 03 Tigers.
03 Tigers, worst team in history.
42 wins. Yeah, terrible.
Mike Marath and all those guys, right? So I think it's going to be easy. But basically, Dombrowski came in that year. I was drafted by Dombrowski, but the year before was Randy Smith, right? Who was the old GM who was horrendous. Dombrowski turned around so quickly, signed all those free agents. Remember when Pudge signed in 06?
Oh, yeah.
So by the time I was ready to get up there, we were studs.
Stacked.
We were stacked.
Right. They already had a Joel Zumaya.
They had Zumi. He was already in there, right? Throwing 103, right? So you were just kind of stuck. Like, okay, well, I'm in AA. I'm doing well. I got there in 3 years. I'm ready to go. And they're like, no, we're good, dude. We got enough people rolling. And then they just kept buying people, right? You kept on,
Because that Verlander was drafted, Zumaya was drafted, all these young guys.
So you got that in. So if you're with, like, you were hoping, man, hopefully I get traded to the Oakland A's, right? That'd be great. Or somebody that just would never spend a dime. So you can once you get there, you have the opportunity. You'll be fine. There was more 100-mile-an-hour throwers and more guys hitting 500-foot bombs in AA than in the big leagues. I promise you. It's just mental. They can't get there.
And you never, no party was ever like, I'm going to make a career out of baseball, I'll be a bench coach, and then I'll be a first base coach, and I'll work my way up. That was never.
For me, no. It wasn't, because we had the Jimmy Johns already going.
Yeah. So
I was doing Jimmy Johns. People were always asking me, what are you doing? Right? I'd do my workout, I'd do my running, and I'd come back and start screwing on the computer, watching cameras, doing whatever, building the next store. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing Jimmy Johns. Like, you're an idiot. Now there's 6 guys ended up from my minor league teams buying Jimmy John's throughout from all my buddies. So.
How did you stay the course though? Because at that point you didn't know that was the right thing to do. Hindsight tells you everything clearly.
Well, it was great because my uncle, who was a partner, Tony, he was running the stores. So, and my dad was there counting money every night, making sure everything was going on. So we were good at the store level, right? We only had a couple at that. We had 4 when I retired in 2008. But my dad's like, hey, if you don't stop playing, then we're done. We're good with Jimmy John's. We were building that 5th store. I was like, we're making good money. We're good. I'm like, all right, I'm out. Let's do this. I was with the Dodgers my last half a year. And then I retired and said, let's make sandwiches.
And how old were you at that point?
27.
I mean, that's not too. That's like, I mean, it would have been crazy for you to keep following the dream of MLB.
I could have, and maybe would have got that one big contract that you need, right? You need that second contract. That's where you get paid, right? Mm-hmm. I just didn't. I had my agent. He was like, "Hey, man, you're doing really well." Like I never had a 3 ERA. My ERA was great. I got people out. I didn't throw as hard as I did when I was drafted. I started learning how to pitch, and I could pinpoint stuff, and I mixed it up. But Dombrowski wanted 100-mile-an-hour guys. He had Zuma, he had Ryan Perry, he had all these different guys that were throwing 100. I just wasn't going to throw 100.
Right.
I threw hard, I thought, but
sure.
I guess I didn't throw it as hard as those guys were. So it wasn't going to work. It just wasn't. I just knew it, right? Because they had actually called me, and they're like, "Hey, listen, Jeff Jones, who was the pitching coach, was my pitching coach in high school." And I went up for spring training, and
I remember that. I remember Jeff Jones.
So I went up for spring training. I was in the big leagues, doing that. And we're like, we're bringing you up. I pitched really well in spring training, and like, we're calling you up. I'm like, let's go, dude. And then all of a sudden, he's like, Dombrowski nixed it. It's like, we wanted you. They had a choice between me and this other guy, and they brought the other guy because he threw 97. Right down the middle.
But you know what?
But that's just
sure.
how it
but
goes.
They wanted the number.
They wanted to show the flash. It's going to show 100 because it's in the big leagues. It's +3, right? Whatever you throw on that screen up in Comerica, it's +3.
Wait, why? What accounts for that? What accounts for that?
They just want to juice it up.
Of course, the fans like
sexy looking.
Okay.
But this is a story of that was probably one of the worst things that ever happened to you.
Correct.
That turned out to be maybe one of the best things that ever happened to you.
For sure.
You don't know it at that moment, though.
I would never make the money that we make. I was playing baseball.
Sure, you would have been grinding it out for 3-4 more years. You never know. Dad might have said, Anthony, we're done. We're not going to grow. And you would have been like, yeah, Dad, I'm kind of busy here too.
Yeah.
And that could have been the end of all of it.
Correct.
So one of the worst things turns out to be one of the best.
Yeah. I mean, listen, God has got a plan for everybody, and everything happens for a reason. And that was probably the reason. Like, I was into the Jimmy John's. I never thought I'd get to this level, obviously. I was like, man, if we get 10 stores, we'll be balling, man. We'll be in good shape. And then it just became a game. Like, why is that guy better than me? Why can he open 24 stores? Why can he open 100 stores? Why can't I do that? Mm-hmm. Right? Why is he's no one's not going to outwork me. It's just, he has got a lot more money. So we figured out ways to keep going. And then, then my sister came on board, right? She was a teacher. We brought her on board. My brother was finally done with college. He came on board full time. He was kind of working, and then we just.
Your parents have got to be so thrilled. I mean, we have kids now. It's like, who doesn't want their kids to just be working together, finding success? This one, happy family that probably never fights, and there are probably no issues at all.
Never.
Can we get a reality camera?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, the Tomeys.
You know what? We really don't. It's really kind of amazing. We have our differences of opinion sometimes on stuff, but most of the time, like, we stay in our lanes. Like, my brother handles the finances, right? He's a CFO, right? My sister handles all the HR, all that stuff, and payroll. I take care of all the landlords, the employee stuff, the leases, all that, and the corporate, and we just have our own deal, and we make it happen. My uncle does all the construction, and we just roll.
I got one question left, but I'll wait.
Yeah, because we got to go back to I just have a couple, the amplifiers.
Let's do it.
When is it, like, what do you know? When is it happening? When does
May 15th is our draft in Vegas. We're going to go draft some guys. I'm sure we'll have a decent time out there as well. So Game Above is a really cool organization, right? It started out as a philanthropy thing with Eastern Michigan. Our founder, Keith Stone, multi-billionaire guy, just loves Eastern Michigan. That's where he graduated from, and has given back over $35 million to the school. He built his own Game Above Technology School, which is the #1 school in the country in autonomous vehicles now, which is pretty cool. And then he just built a $8 million golf facility, indoor golf facility there, and he loves to give back. And so he wanted like a bunch of the pro athlete guys on this board. there's not many of us, right? Me, TJ Lang, Jason Jones, Charlie Batch, a couple other guys, that you guys may not know, but we're just kind of like he wanted nothing from us, no money or anything. Just, hey guys, show up to some of the events, wear the Game Above stuff, and just kind of be present. And then when he decided he wanted to go into sports, he brought a few of us, only a couple guys, and wanted us to be involved in this. So TJ and I kind of headed the whole thing up. TJ's a really good, local guy and played the NFL with Aaron Rodgers or the Lions. And I think, Keith just respects what I've done. I've built this not from sports, right, out of our own. So he kind of respects what I've done. And he's like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, awesome, let's go. And so it's a really cool organization to be a part of. Then we got George Gervin involved as well, which is a huge name. And
it's another. It's not the NBA. It's a different kind of spin on it. But it's these alt sports are becoming bigger. I mean, like I don't want to call it. Is it the UFL? I want to make sure I say it right.
It was the XFL. It's the UFL now.
UFL. The UFL, and we've got the Michigan Panthers.
Yep.
So that's just an alt football league, and so this is in a way like an alt NBA.
Correct.
Yeah, product.
And the 3-on-3, we really loved it because of the Olympics this past year, right? They had a 3-on-3 team, the USA, and worldwide. It's become a worldwide game. It's a different game.
Totally different game.
than like the NBA game. You had to play it differently.
Who was it? Kyle Korver that was super good at it?
No, or Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
He was the best player in the world.
That's right.
And then he got hurt. That's why the U.S. didn't do well. But it's a cool thing. And we just bought a basketball team in Australia. We're buying a soccer team somewhere else as well. We have aspirations to keep buying some of these other teams, and hopefully we get one of the big boys, get an NHL and NBA team. Keith is just he's a great guy, and he's a great leader. And I think he's going to buy something like that one day, and I want to be part of that. And I love being a part of what we do already. And I just, we had the whole bowl game this year, which was awesome as well.
He's an example of what your dad was talking about. If you're surrounding yourself with gamers, you're going to be a gamer.
Correct.
If you surround yourself with entrepreneurs, you're going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, be an entrepreneur, exactly. And it meshes well. We have a great group. Everyone kind of gets along. Everyone, has on the same page. And he doesn't want us to be yes men. He's like, I want you to tell me this is no good. Tell me this is no good.
I love that.
Let's not invest our money in something stupid, right?
I'm telling Derek he messes up all the time. And he welcomes it. And he takes it.
No, I like positive reinforcement.
But you have to have that guy. If everyone just tells you, that sounds great. That's amazing. And it's an awful idea.
That's true. Sure. Every day he tells me I suck, so that's fine. Yeah,
my dad is the same way though. That's the way my dad motivates. Like he, as a kid, like that's just how he would yell at me all the time. This is a great story. When I was 9 years old, I was huge. Like I was a big kid, man. Like I was probably 150 pounds at 9. Like I was big. I wasn't like a fat mess. I was just like a big, bulky kid. And every day, and he didn't know anything. He knew I was good at sports, right? And every morning he'd wake me up at 6 a.m. I would do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 weighted jump ropes, and I had to run around the block a mile, and he would follow me in the car so I wouldn't cheat.
Wait
I'm
a
not
minute.
kidding.
Do you know if that happens? No. If that happened now, he could go to jail.
Go to jail.
But you know what I mean? Like that would be child neglect.
But I embraced it, right? I knew he wanted this for me, and he wasn't doing it to me to piss me off.
Yeah, he loved you and was encouraging you to be the best version of yourself.
He couldn't even play catch with me anymore. At 9 years old, he could no longer play catch with me. He couldn't throw me a bang break. He couldn't do anything with me. I was bigger than him.
My daughter's turning 9. She's like 50 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
You were 150 pounds.
I was 150 pounds. I mean, I was just a huge kid, like all the way through. It's 12. I was 6'1", 185 pounds at 12. I had to lose weight, 25 pounds just to play football at the academy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a grown man with 12-year-old. Wow.
Yeah, I played
grown man body.
Team. I played baseball. I had to move up. They ended the game. I was hitting, and some kid threw a pitch, and it was going to hit me, and I just like a backyard, just caught it with my hand and threw it back. And they're like, "That's enough. You're done.
You're out of here,
Get
man.
out of here."
You're going.
So. My final question to you. Maybe you have some advice to people out there. I don't know if it's high school kids or adults. How are you so cool? He's so cool.
What a question.
I mean, he's so cool.
Yeah,
like there's this aura to you, and that's obviously a fake question. You don't have to answer it, but like, there's just something about you. I see when you say like everybody has their skill, and you're a people person. You can communicate with people. You can talk. You can motivate people, and that is a true skill. You have it.
Thank you. And it's just one of those things, man. I genuinely I love people. I love being around people. I hate being by myself. I hate. I don't want to just sit there and watch TV on my own. I love having people over my house. I host all the time. it's just a thing. I don't know what it is, and I
haven't invited us yet, but got lost in the mail.
I haven't invited you.
We see Alan at the gym, so
What?
we
Nothing.
do stuff.
No, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Derek.
You guys are hanging out
We
without
live
me.
a mile away from each other, but no big deal. But no, I just think people again. I'm a positive guy. I'm always very happy. Like you'll never see me upset unless something, and it's more than 5 minutes. I'm out. Like I just flip it back on, and I just go with it, guys. I just one of those things that I just generally love to be happy and have fun with everybody, and just go. I'm a yes guy. I just say let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Can the Weatherboys play against the Amplifiers before your season starts?
I mean, we'll see what we can do. I would love to see that. That'd be a really good
Ice
game.
Cube signed off on it already.
Oh, did he? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he
then
did.
He
No,
did.
that's true. He did. Derek talked to him.
I pinned him down like a year ago. We've got the clip.
Not physically.
No. We interviewed him. No, trust me. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
But we had him on the air, and I cornered him, and I said, hey, what do we think about the Weatherboys? And he was like, cool. Sounds good.
Let's play. Make it happen. Well, we'll see who we get on our team after our draft here in Vegas, and then we'll let you guys size them up and see what you guys can bring to the table, and we'll see if we can get a little 3-on-3 game.
Did you say that you were coaching right now? Coaching baseball?
Yes, coaching baseball, basketball, and football.
What age
all year
group?
round.
Oh my gosh.
7. Well, I have my oldest is 7, so I coach him all year round in flag. I coach him all year round in travel baseball, and we play basketball, and I coach.
I need to ask you this question.
Yeah.
So my kids are playing U7 baseball.
Yep.
I'm coach. I'm head coach.
Okay.
This first year, and I didn't realize that I'm 3 years late because we missed 5-year-old T-ball's 5.
Sure.
Pitching machine or coach pitch is
Coach
6.
pitch is 6.
It's 6, and we're already at kid pitch, and I feel like I am setting my kids up to fail. We have done crash course. This is not a joke.
That's insanity.
We have crash coursed baseball every day leading up to the season, which was supposed to start yesterday, but the cold weather nixed it.
Sure.
So I bought myself 5 more days.
All right.
But the season starts on Saturday. I'm the head coach, and I feel like my own children are so far behind now. So how do you coach when you're How do you coach when they're 7?
It's tough. I mean, you have to keep their attention, right? And it's tough because your own kids don't listen to you.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, there's no one that knows more than I do about baseball in this facility. And he'll listen to the guy wearing jean shorts over me, right?
Listen to me.
I'm gonna wear jean shorts,
right?
by the way.
But you just got to lock it in, and you got to make sure it's all about confidence for these kids, right? Once they see if you tell them if you do this and that happens, that's it. Then they're locked in. They believe it, and that's what we really got to do. Like our team is really good for a bunch of 7-8-year-old kids. We're playing 8U, and we're really good. Like I couldn't believe how good we were because we played the 9U team and we smoked them. And I was like, and in 1 year at that age that's a
big
difference.
Oh yeah.
Are they like, is third base actually throwing to first base and get him out?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm very worried
This
about
is this is
hard
a
for
travel
me.
team, right? Like
Okay, this is mine's
this is
not.
a travel team, like a local travel team. Like the organization, the Michigan Bulls, is really good organization. I was the first team ever, the Michigan Bulls. We were the original team. We were very, very good. We had like 11 guys go Division I, a couple guys drafted. But this is where we're starting, and I just wanted them because we played, little league ball, and you got 3 or 4 kids that can play. The rest of the kids just strike out every single time.
Yeah, it's going to be my team.
It's very tough to coach that. Like I did it last year, and it was very.
I did a bucket. I did a bucket of ground balls. None of them caught, and I'm like, oh god, this is going to be a lot.
It's going to be tough. You're going to have a couple kids you got to show them how to hit. If you can show them how to hit properly, they'll be okay.
How
I
often
feel like
should you
that.
curse at them? That's how often.
Well, it's been daily. So.
Yeah.
You need a good assistant coach that will listen to your cursing.
Yeah. Okay.
I could
someone
be
that's-
that.
yeah.
I'll be your
I would
assistant
love
coach.
for you to come.
Are you
I would
kidding? You've
love
seen
for
my
you to come.
swing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, you're out. You're out.
Darius,
You're out.
bring them to me. I'll take care of these guys. Get them into shape here before Saturday.
Good.
We'll be in an indoor facility
Be
in
running
Nova.
laps.
I was going to say running back.
Run them laps. I love running laps. All right. Should we let Anthony go?
I guess so. I suppose. Yeah.
Anthony, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man.
Thanks for having me on, boys. This is
Delightful.
awesome. This is a lot of fun.
Great. Wow. I think we can check off our list our first billionaire guest.
Yeah,
After this
yeah.
new
Get out
era
of here.
deal. This is huge.
Get out of here.
Huge. We're proud of you, man,
Thank
and
you.
we're happy to know
Seriously.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Born in Detroit. How can people, the website, you want to plug the website?
bornindetroit.store. We are officially going to be launching next week borninapparel.com, which will be all of our different, cities, and you can just do like a scroll down. But yeah, that, just like that, and jimmyjohnsobviously.com. That's not me. That's just Jimmy John's. But everyone will go eat that. 8milevodka.com as well.
After
And
the new
Big
era.
Three, we'll be playing at LCA. We have 2 home games at LCA.
Sweet, man. That's so cool.
Once the New Era deal goes off, which is going to, will you still hang out with us?
We'll see.
Okay.
Well, that's time will tell.
I mean,
that's
There's
fair.
no point. We appreciate the honesty. Just like your dad.
We'll remember this moment forever. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in. Don't forget, you can watch if you're watching or listening on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube, Spotify as well. The Weatherboys on Spotify and Fox Local, where all of our content is there as well. Subscribe to the Spotify page.
Smash and subscribe.
Smash and subscribe.
Smash and subscribe.
To YouTube and Spotify. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.